Yo, what is up, you guys? Let's give it like probably 2 or 3 minutes for some people to hop on. Usually YouTube is like a little far behind. We'll give it about a couple minutes. If you guys have any problems like hearing me, or if you hear any music in the background, let me know. I can't just talk to myself, so I need to have some sort of music, but I don't want to get in trouble with like copyright problems because you guys know how YouTube is with copywriting and then striking videos and stuff. I don't want to deal with that. But yeah, the point of this video is just kind of essentially going through what's up. What's up, brother? What's up, Angel? The big thing really is for today, I want to go over 2020, like how the market did overall. I want to go over how the market did, or is going to do, I should say, in 2021. As well as some Q&A if you guys have any questions, because this is public. Normally I stream like this every single morning with my team. So along the way, if you guys have any questions, if you have anything you want me to look at, we're going to talk about it. Also, too, I'm going to go over, a lot of people have been asking me about growth stocks and growth stocks that I would be looking at potentially buying into next year. So if you have a company, like I can't go through every single company. I don't have time within this to like go through every single company, but I have a pretty nice list of like large cap growth stocks, and we can quickly go over them and like, do I see them being a good investment potentially and growing in the future, probably within the next year, as well. Maybe if you guys have something you want me to look at, we can do that. So it's kind of the idea of this. If you guys are watching this after the fact, I'm going to be, it's going to be on the YouTube, and I'm going to be posting it on the private academy. But yeah, as we wait for some people to hop on, probably like another minute or two, overall, wrapping up 2020, the market's been wild. I mean, if you look at the past year, S&P 500, we'll just look at SPY in general, but if we look at the overall market in just the past year, like we opened at 320 on the SPY. We took a massive, well, for the first 2 months, we had about a 5% increase, which was still extremely good overall. Let me turn this music down a little bit more. Overall, still really, really good. And then we had that massive sell-off. And for a lot of you guys who are new, I know there's a lot of people who started trading, within the past 6 to 9 months due to, number one, a lot of people getting stimulus checks. So people who didn't have disposable money prior to this now had some sort, it's not a lot, but some sort of disposable money. And also with the stock market crashing as hard as it did. Now, the big reason why the market fell so hard was obviously because of the Rona, but it's because of uncertainty. Something that I tell a lot of my students is, it's not that necessarily like Rona and economic shutdown killed the market. It was the uncertainty of how bad it was going to be. The market hates uncertainty. And so when Rona first really happened, we got these shutdowns, the market dropped from highs 35%, which is pretty huge. And overall, a lot of this was because not necessarily the destruction, there was a lot of destruction from the Rona, but a lot of it was simply because of the uncertainty of what was going to happen. We first heard that millions and millions and millions of people were going to die, 20, 30 million. We didn't know how bad it was going to be. We didn't know if it was going to be something like along the lines of Spanish flu. As we saw, obviously, thankfully, it was not nearly as bad as many people expected. Still very bad, still shut down the economy, still ruined a lot of things for a lot of people. But overall, as you can see, it was not that impactful overall to the stock market. Now, I was actually having this exact conversation with my friend today because he was saying he doesn't understand why the market has recovered as much as it has. And I said, and you guys can answer this, I'll ask you guys this question first. Do the stock market and the economy go off of each other? So basically what I'm saying is, does the stock market trade off of how the economy is doing? You guys don't have to answer. There is no wrong answer. But does the stock market trade off of how the economy is doing? I know there's like a slight delay on YouTube, so give it like a couple seconds. If not, I'll just answer it. No. So the economy has very small to do with what the stock market does. So the Marley kid says 50-50. I would agree, probably, yeah, about 50-50, but it really does and doesn't, because look at the economy, right? What types of companies are being shut down right now? What types of companies have been the most impacted during this economic recession, right? Number one, it has been travel. So things like airlines, right? American Airlines taking a beating, Spirit Airlines taking a beating, UAL, which is United Airlines, taking a beating, CCL. So a lot of airlines, which we've said, a lot of cruise companies, as well as banks. Why are banks taking a beating? Well, banks are taking a beating because in order to stimulate the economy, we have to lower interest rates so that rich people spend money. When interest rates are low, rich people are out there and buying up more properties, buying more assets, starting more businesses, and stimulating the economy. Companies, if the economy is bad, dollar is worthless, and if the dollar is worthless, stocks crash. Exactly. And the thing too is, like, what you have to see is banks themselves make money by loaning money. If I give Wells Fargo $100,000 to put in my savings account, they're going to take that money and they're going to loan it out with interest. Well, when interest rates are low, banks aren't making as much money. What are some other companies that are getting killed, right? Look at travel, well, leisure too. So Dave & Buster's, like these types of companies. What's Cheesecake Factory? Restaurants. So cake, that's actually back a bit, but a lot of restaurants have been shut down. So the economy has taken a major hit. However, the stock market has roared to all-time highs. The NASDAQ has taken off. I mean, literally taken off. From lows of the Rona to now, the NASDAQ is up 100%. That is insane. The S&P 500 from lows until now is up 71%. If you actually held the S&P 500 from 1 year, you never sold, to now, you're up 14%, which you're actually up 4% more than you would if you just normally held. Normally the S&P 500 goes up 9-10% a year, sometimes 7. So you would have still done really well. Now, the reason that the market is moving so well, even though the economy is not doing well, is take a look at the top companies in the S&P 500. Apple. Does Apple do better or worse, or does it not matter during this economic shutdown? Apple has been doing better than it has since before Rona. Microsoft, doesn't matter if we have a lockdown, they're doing better than before the Rona. Amazon is doing better than before the Rona. Facebook is doing better than before the Rona. Google is doing better than before the Rona. Tesla, you could say, is doing better than before the Rona. Berkshire Hathaway, probably not. J&J, they're doing better because they sell a lot of items that people are running out to go get toilet paper and paper towels and shampoo and baby powder. They're doing better. JP Morgan, they're top 10 weighted in the S&P 500, but they're not doing as well, but they've actually recovered a lot. Visa, they're not doing too bad, but still could be better. Procter & Gamble's doing really well. Nvidia is doing really well. United Health is doing pretty well. Disney, they didn't do too good, and if we continue to have lockdowns, they're not going to do too well, but they're also pivoting the business right now into a more online tech type of company with their streaming services. And the list goes on and on. Home Depot did very well. PayPal did very well. Verizon did decent. Adobe did really well. Netflix did really well. Bank of America's Pfizer has done pretty well. Salesforce has done really well. So when you look, Walmart as well, done extremely well. So when you look at the companies that are being shut down and the companies that are dragging down the economy, because we have to have this economic shutdown, whether you agree with it, I mean, I don't agree with it, but, we can keep agreements aside. But overall, these companies are the ones that are driving the stock market. Are you guys able to hear me on YouTube as well? I'm having somebody say that they can't hear me. If you guys can hear me on YouTube, just let me know, please. Also hit the like button. It really helps this channel out. But I just want to make sure there's not any problems. Oh, we can hear you. Okay. All right, cool. Thank you, guys. Stock prices went down during I can't say that word, during the Rona. Bigger companies saw an opportunity to buy stocks at lower prices, and that's why people make money in the long run. Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is a lot of these companies, this is one thing we'll talk about. I don't talk a lot about balance sheets and investing on this channel. This channel specifically is more about like just quick little trade videos I put out every day. If you do want to actually learn more or hear a lot of my thoughts on investing, I will put that on my main channel. So I'll put a link to my main channel down below. But yeah, that is why when you're investing in companies, you want to see a strong balance sheet, because a strong balance sheet means not only can they survive like the P word, I can't say it, but a Rona or an economic crisis, but they can actually flourish because they can go up and buy all of these companies that are failing at extremely cheap prices. Look at what happened with Fitbit. Fitbit was a failing, dying company that was getting crushed during this, Rona, and then Google went out and acquired them for, in my opinion, dirt cheap. So that's why big balance sheets are extremely important. But overall, this is why we are seeing the S&P 500 and the stock market in general continue to go up month after month, even though things don't seem to be doing that well. I mean, if you look at it, we are getting a vaccine, and we'll see what ends up happening with it here, and how well it works. But then we also are seeing things like it's mutating. We need more stimulus. Philadelphia is shut down where I'm from. A lot of other places are shut down. So we're still in this really weird area of uncertainty, but a lot of the companies that are pushing the S&P 500, NASDAQ, and the Dow Jones, a lot of them are companies that are not really affected. Now, overall, from a trading technical analysis standpoint, we're starting to make something that is not good. If you look at a 3-year chart of the S&P 500, you can see this is the last time we made this pattern. And here's the thing, guys, patterns are not everything. Patterns are probabilities. Patterns are not exactly what is going to happen. You can't tell the future by just looking at some charts and be like, oh, it looks good. There's a lot of things that go into it. It's just a game of probabilities. However, last year, one of the first YouTube videos I ever made was called My March 2020 SPY puts. And I talked about how at the end of December, I was loading up on puts because I didn't trust the market. I felt extremely overvalued. We had a massive ascending wedge with a bearish divergence, and I thought that the market was going to crash, or at least correct. You can see we had, and we can actually put another one smaller within it, we had an ascending wedge with a bearish divergence, perfectly right on time. Right? What is this date right here? 2/24. So I was off by a couple of weeks. We had what's called the apex, which is happening here, which is where we basically get this big squeeze, and then the market died 40%. Did I expect the market to die 40%? No. Was that a video that aged very well? Yes, it was. Did I get lucky by predicting that? Yes. But overall, it was because of this. I didn't expect like the Rona or anything like that. I just expected maybe a quick 10% correction at the first quarter of the year, and we got that big pullback. Now the same setup is happening right now. We have a massive ascending wedge with a bearish divergence. Volume is lowering. We're starting to get some uncertainty, and while I have a lot of bullish positions open right now as far as trades are considered, I could see potentially by February another 10 to 20% fade. I think the S&P 500 could totally go back to $320, but I could see another 10 to 15%, maybe 20% fade around February and March again. Just from a trading standpoint. However, I don't know, like a fuzzy in my mouth or something, but from a trading standpoint, that's how we're setting up. Now, as far as my outlook on the market in 2021, for those of you who are in my private academy, I'm pretty bullish on the market. I actually am extremely bullish on the market going into 2021. Like I said, I think we could really use a 10% correction, potentially 15% correction. I think we at least need to come back down and test 340 at least, potentially even 320. But I do think it's really weird. I was talking to my academy earlier today, and it's nuts because as the market is starting to move up, I realize small money, you guys know this, the difference between small and big money. but small money is extremely bearish right now. I see so many people in like Facebook groups and YouTube who are very bearish and very worried about the market right now. But it's nuts because if you look at the flows, you see the bottom left side of my screen is black box for like months now. You know, we're getting consistent buying on things like Apple, Facebook, Amazon. We're getting tons of buying from big money. It's overall, I do think that next year we're going to have a great year within the market. Like I said, we could have 10-15% pullback. To me, I might start putting some hedges on, but like nothing insane. But I still think going into 2021, our economy and specifically the market, how we talked about they are different. The market is now positioned itself in this technological world where even another lockdown, I don't think would terribly affect the market. I think we'd have another 10-15% pullback, but I don't think that we would ever fall back down to lows that we had in March. Now, BS, I think you hit the nail on the head. .com bubble and 2021 EV bubble. I think that we're gonna have a bubble. I mean, we have a bubble right now. Like, I don't want anybody to get upset here. These are just my opinions. So if you are like a Tesla holder right now and you believe in them long term, Tesla is at a staggering, I almost said stupid, I'll say it, a stupid value. The valuation on this thing right now is insane. If you're somebody who's buying into Tesla for the next 5 years, okay, buy it here. But there is a massive bubble that is happening in the market, and it's not only just on Tesla, but a lot of it is retail investors who are just pouring money into the markets. And there are a lot of big money, like hedge funds, investment bankers, millionaires and billionaires, who like really haven't taken profits from those March lows quite yet. So I could see that within the next potentially 3-4 months, kind of like we talked, seeing big profit taking by big funds, and seeing Tesla potentially pull back down to 500, seeing Apple make a nice pullback, seeing Facebook make a nice pullback. Tech is, while it is leading everything, I can totally see tech being pulled out from under the rug, because we have a lot of companies that I feel are extremely overvalued. And when we start looking at this list of growth companies that I have that I want to go over, you'll see a lot of these companies I believe are extremely overvalued. Can you see flow on March from the March dip? I don't know if I can go back that far. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So let's see. End of February to let's just say like end of March. And let's look at something like Apple. So like even through like this time period, it was not, oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, so I can't go that far back. It only lets me go to March, but pretty consistently, not what I would expect. I would have expected a lot worse flow. Let's look at something like CCL. CCL, a lot of puts, but still a lot of calls, tons of puts. Dude, these puts would have killed. But it's still kind of hard to go through that now. Also, guys, hit the like button. It really helps. Another shutdown will have a crash at first, but then there will be a bounce back up to 3 to 5 months. The market will be booming. If the market crashes, just think of all the discounted prices. I agree with you, Rigo. The key is looking at companies that you know are doing good and progressing, and they grow their company. Just go back and look at the companies back in March and see what happened to them. They came back and managed to do it once. They will succeed again. I agree, and this is why, I mean, I long-term invest, but I also trade, and I will tell you guys, this is a trading channel. 90% of traders fail. It's true. It's not something for everybody, but from an investing standpoint, you need to never freak out. Like Facebook, when Facebook dumped, down to, let's see, when Facebook dumped down to $134 a share, it wasn't a different company. They still had great fundamentals. They still had a great balance sheet. They still had great leadership. They still had basically a monopoly on social media. they were still a great company. I would have been buying the hell out of it. I was buying the hell, if you guys remember, was buying the hell out of Uber at $14. I should have held my Uber position, but I made like 15 grand on Uber alone. Like, there's so many great companies out there that you can't panic sell. Like, I completely agree with you, Rigo. You have to actually look at the company and not what is happening to the stock price. The problem is everyone freaks out. They look at what's happening to the stock price and they're like, I got to get out. I got to get out. You can't. That's why understanding the fundamentals of a business is extremely important. If you guys want me to teach on this specific stream, like we have like another hour and 10 minutes. I can teach you guys how to read a balance sheet and an income statement, and kind of value a company, in my opinion. But overall, you have to remember you're investing in a company. You're not investing in the price of a stock. Now, if you're trading, it's completely different. If you're trading, then that's not the same. But overall, I see the market being pretty bullish next year. I think that we could have a pretty far pullback. If you look too at the S&P 500 and we just look at a 10-year chart. So let me remove all my drawings real quick. If you look at 10 years, you can see that we have just made this perfect resistance line all the way up here. We're breaking out over it, but still, like I said, we could reject. We could see the market back at 320. It's kind of just where I see things going. What's up? Peace, Pete. What's up, Moshe? How you doing, man? But the biggest thing is like you just can't panic sell. Overall, 2021, I think it's going to be great. 2020 has been an amazing year. Like I don't know about you guys. Like you can share how good of a year you've had. You can share if you've had a terrible year. Like it's nothing but honesty and openness on this channel. And dude, I mean, I've lost tons of money in my life. It's a part of the game. But overall, I've had an amazing year. I spent, for those of you who are in my academy, if you guys do want to join my academy, I give 90% off for the first month. The link's down below. So it's $10 for the first month to get access to all of our courses, lectures. I live stream like this every single morning. But it's an amazing community. But you guys know in the first quarter, I was trading a lot. The second quarter, I was really hammering down on investments. And I was averaging down a lot on buying into long-term investments. Then towards the third quarter and the fourth quarter, things were still rocky. I started selling off some of my long terms. I started selling a lot of options, selling a lot of puts and credit spreads. In the fourth quarter now, we've been killing it. I think I'm up almost 11 grand in the past 6 weeks, doing really well. But probably going into the new year, I'm going to start taking a less aggressive approach. But I've had a really, really good year. But yes, I believe that the Green New Deal will increase hydrogen cells, EV companies, and also data analysis firms such as Palantir, but there will be a potential down in the market first before it happens. Yeah, I agree. So here's the thing. I think that I come off, and a lot of people, like on a lot of videos I make here, my goal, first of all, with this channel, this is a second channel, I put like 5 videos a day out. I do cover a lot of meme type companies, and a lot of it's for the algorithm, but it's also because a lot of people ask me about them. And my goal is to really grow this channel and make this a great place for everybody. But I seem to be a hater to some people on like EV companies like NIO and Blink and Plug and Helion or Hylian or whatever you say it. And it's not that I'm a hater. It's just that I've seen these things happen before. I've seen big money pump up companies. I've seen small people get in. I've seen the rug been pulled out, and I've seen people get screwed. I'm not saying any of them are bad long-term investments. I'm just saying that they're at some astronomical prices right now. But I do agree. If I'm looking 10 years down the road, I see huge success for Palantir. I've done a huge deep dive video on Palantir on my main channel. You can check that out. I see huge success for them. I see huge success for NIO, potentially, as long as everything goes well. I think once they can get their own manufacturing down, they seem to be on the right path. I owned $20,000 worth of NIO at $1.95 a share and sold it at $4 a share. So I believed in them. I still believe in them. I was an idiot for selling too soon, but it's whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree with you. I think in the next 10 years, like electricity and just green, like we can't continue to do what we're doing as a society. We really can't. So I see a huge future. I just think right now it's really overhyped. There are a lot of people investing in stuff that they don't understand what they're investing in. Kind of like people buying up Bitcoin and don't even know what the hell crypto is or how it works. And unfortunately, the rug usually gets pulled out from under them by big money. So hopefully it doesn't happen to anybody. But if you're buying for the next 10 years, who cares? This year, I learned that the stonks, it's lit. Yeah, it's true. Making money in the market's phenomenal. It is one of the most freeing things that you can do if you do it correctly. And there is a lot of ways to mess it up. For those of you who know me, who have been following me for a long time, I've been trading for 7 years. I lost $26,000 in my first 4 years of trading. I brought an account from $5,000 up to $50,000 in 2 years. Thought I knew what I was doing, but I just got really lucky. And I blew like $26,000 in my, blew $10,000 in like the first like month of being above $50,000. And then from there, I just kept going down. It's because I didn't really know what I was doing. I was following the wrong people. And through trial and error and doing this for 7 years, I've gotten extremely good at it and lived off the markets for the past 4 years. I don't drive a Ferrari. I drive a 2018 Jetta. I don't live in a mansion. Got a 3-bedroom house in Philadelphia. Yeah, I've built this year alone, built a 6-figure business with my academy. I've got 2 YouTube channels. We've done a lot. 2020 has been the best year of my life. Honestly, it really has. So I'm not here to teach you guys how to make millions. I'm here to teach you guys how to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, because I have done that and I can teach that. Rigo, new to investing, up $22,000 this year. Hell yes. Congratulations. That's amazing. The best thing that I can say, Rigo, you have a really good head on your shoulders just from a couple of things that you've said here. The best thing I can say to anybody who's up a lot this year is just remember, this is going to kind of be weird, but like, get used to having the money. It's not your money till you sell. I'm not telling anybody to sell positions, but get used to having it. I see a lot of people who, this is especially with options, but who will make, not YOLOs, but make a crap ton of money, and then they end up blowing it because they're not used to having it. I was one of those people. Like I said, I went from $5,000 to $50,000. I didn't truly understand $50,000, like what $50,000 was. To me, now that's 2 duplexes I can go out and buy. Which bring me $1,000 a month in profits each. So, dude, congratulations, you're killing it. Is it me, or did the Pete disappear? I don't think I disappeared. Am I still on here? I turned my light down a little bit, but should still be here. Hopefully you guys can see me. I think YouTube, like, it looks a little grainy, but you guys have no audio? See you. Okay, cool. You can hear me too, I guess. Right, Rigo, thank you. I think maybe it's just YouTube sucking. I think what's happening is I'm putting out such a high quality issue. Everything's good on my end. I got you. John, yes. Private Money Guy, nope. It's really weird. Hopefully it comes back in. Hopefully it fixes. I don't know. It says my video resolution's going to be not great. But, okay. It seems like it's doing all right. I think it's because I'm streaming at such a high, I'm only getting blips. It's weird. I think it's because I'm streaming at such a high resolution that, like, it's just kind of killing YouTube. Let me see maybe if I can kill some programs that I'm not using. Did anyone see a big candle for Snap? No, but I'll have to check that out. Okay. And let me kill this. All right, I'll turn some programs off, see if it works a little bit better. Let me go back through the chat. So, yeah, Rigo, congratulations, dude. You're killing it. This year I learned a lot. Amazon before and after the .com bubble by The Happy. I wish you a wealthy and happy new year. Thank you, BS. Dude, have a great new year yourself, too. I'm extremely excited for this new year. I'm literally so happy that I'm so excited for 2021. Like, we'll continue to talk about stocks, but one thing I'll say from an entrepreneurship standpoint is you can turn lemons into lemonade no matter what it is. Like, for those of you who are in my private academy, like, you guys know we started 9 months ago. We have 340 people. Like, this year has been insane. I'm always open about my finances and my income because I want to help a lot of people. And I feel that, like, just being shady and shysty and not telling people, like, what they make and what they do, like, this past year has been insane. So I started my other YouTube channel. I started this YouTube channel like 8 weeks ago. We're already at 2,000 subscribers. Like, this channel alone, once we get monetized, should probably pay about $1,800 a month. My main channel is paying $300 a month. The Academy is going to make over 6 figures this year, and trading this year, I'm up about 70 grand. So, and that's in 1 year. Like, all of that is within 1 year. And I'm a guy who, well, I mean, I was in prison 7 years ago. Like, I mean, for 14 grams of weed, but I got terribly accused and did 5 months in prison. I'm a convicted felon for it. But like, no matter where you are in your life or what you're doing, dude, it's pretty crazy what you can do just working really hard at something and dedicating your life to mastering a skill and just doing everything with it. So if you guys ever need help with anything like that, let me know. I can definitely do a stream on that too. I left and I came back in and you're fine. Awesome, dude. Brian, what's up, brother? 2020 changed my life. Rona changed my life for the better. Not crazy profitable, but I learned and I'm still learning. Here's the thing. If you've been trading or investing for less than 3 years, don't even care about making money. Like, I know I've said this before to like my students, but don't even care about making money. For the first 3 years, your goal should really be not losing your butt in the market and investing, but just learning. Like, just learning. Like, when I lost 26 grand, I didn't freak out. Like, I just looked myself in the mirror and I was like, dude, it's your tuition. I know people who went to school, they got $80,000 in debt and they come out and they're freaking pushing carts at Giant. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but like, it's cool. Like, people won't look at it that way because you're trading the stock market and you're losing money. But dude, I mean, if I gotta spend $26,000 to have a skill I can use for the next 30 years, 50 years, dude, I can do this when I'm 90. Like, I would never want this to happen, but I could break both my legs and still make money tomorrow, you know? And that's a long game. Joining was the best thing I did this year. Dude, Kendall, thank you so much, man. Really means a lot to me. When did SPY hit 378? Oh, it hit 378 this month. It was when we had that big, wait, when did SPY hit 378? Oh, okay, so I don't think, okay, so that wasn't a real 378. It pinged out during the day. I don't think that was real. I think that's just a blip on TD's chart, but it comes up as this. So it's weird. So it seems like the highs we really hit on SPY most recently has been 373. Everything's good on my end. Still got my mansion for sale. Let's see. Everything's good. Mulligan blips. As far as money, any money made will not be used. We'll either reinvest or let it sit there to make more money. Dude, that's the thing, right? So, it's funny, but my girlfriend gets, like, not pissed, but she sees, like, the money I make from the market and the money I make from the Academy and the money I make from, like, affiliates and YouTube. And it's, like, it's hilarious because she's like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're never going to take that money out of your investments. Like, so to give you context, like, the Academy, the business, Capitalist Academy, which is my private academy, this year will make $145,000. Do you know what I pay myself every month? What do you guys guess? What do you think I pay myself every month? Like, for me, Pete DiCarlo, my actual salary. So I make, like I said, 140 from that, and then like 60, 70 this year from trading, and then YouTube. I pay myself $1,600 a month. That's it. That's all I need. I'm a super simple person. I own a duplex, which pays for itself. Yeah, so you guys know, everybody in my group, you all know how freaking frugal I am. Not 18 grand a month, Plague, no. But like, everyone in my group, so like Private Money Guy, Kendall, Moshe, like, you guys all know I'm super frugal. Pascal, 5K, I probably should. But no, so I keep literally all the money I make, I put it right back into investing or into my business account. Because I have a duplex that pays, essentially, I make $1,000 a month from it. It pays all of my mortgage on the new house that I have that I'm living in. I have to pay like an extra 500 on it. But still, I own my car. I drive like a 2018 Jetta. It's not bad, but it's not terrible. I bought it like 18 grand cash. I have no student loan. I have no debt. My food bills are like $200 a month. I cook everything at home. Dude, I don't spend any money except for when I go on vacation, and that's it. Like the best thing, if you're somebody who's young, the best thing that I could ever tell you is to live not like a bum. Like I'll spend good money on food and my health. That is extremely important. But live below your means and just put everything you have into investing. So like all the money I make this year, first of all, Uncle Sam is going to murder me in taxes. And then anything I have left over is going to stay in my business account. And it's either going to go towards funding more properties, growing the business, hiring people. I plan to hire a lot of people, at least 2 or 3 people next year, because I need help. I want to grow this YouTube channel to 100,000 subscribers. I'd love to have people helping me grow this. So overall, I was wrong by 12,000 or 1,200 for the year. Yeah, but you're right. Okay, so you meant 18 grand. I think you meant 18 grand a month. No, yeah, about like 18 grand a year. So, live below your means. It's one of the best things you can do. You're completely right, Rigo. Any money you have, just put it right back in the market. I do think everyone should have I can't say the S word, but an OSNAP fund. I think everyone really should have at least 3, really I'd like to say 6 months of your bills that are not invested. They're sitting on the side in case something like Rona happens, or unless you break a leg and you can't work, or just anything happens. I think it's really good to always have some other money on the side. But yeah, so overall, talked about the market. I think it's going to be pretty bullish next year. Could see about 10 to 15% fade going into Q1, Q2. But we'll see how everything goes. So let's kind of go into growth companies. If you guys have any questions or just like anything in general, throw them out there. Let's go into some growth companies. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Like I said, I don't have enough knowledge in my freaking brain to know every aspect of every single company there. You know what I mean? And overall, I'm going to just go through some things I know. We can do some stuff. Pascal, hey there, just discovered you a week ago and will stick with you going forward. Learned a lot during the home office. May I ask what tool you use for analysis and charts besides Blackbox? What's up, Pascal? Thank you so much, man. That it means a lot to me. Like, as a small YouTuber and just like a small person in general, like even if I had 1 million followers, like support is everything and it means a lot. So thank you guys. Yeah, so this charting software right here, this is Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade. I highly recommend it. It is 100% free. You do need to make a TD Ameritrade account. The only thing you have to do is fund your account with $50. That's it. You don't have to spend it. You don't have to do anything. They make you have $50 now because so many people use the platform. It is a phenomenal platform. It is tough to use. I have a full course on it in my academy, but if you go to my main YouTube channel, so for anybody who wants to go to check out my main channel, you can just type in Peter DeCarlo. So YouTube, you can just type in my name, Peter DeCarlo, and as my main channel, but you could type in like Thinkorswim, and I have Thinkorswim tutorials on my YouTube. So this one's how to set up everything the same way that I have it. Thinkorswim mobile. So I have a lot of videos on it, but Thinkorswim is the platform that I use. I highly recommend it. You can use TradingView, which is a web browser one, but I like Thinkorswim a lot better. And if you're going to use a broker, I highly recommend using TD Ameritrade. I hate Robinhood. I like the user interface, but like they are the worst people ever. Their customer service is terrible. Weeble's not bad either. I just spilled some water on me. But so let's go through some companies. I could totally use your guys' help. I'm not all ever knowing and knowledgeable. So if you guys have anything you want to let me know about or anything, like let me know. If you know something about a company that I don't know about, let me know. I learned so much from Pete's info on TOS, executed many good trades because of it. Thank you so much, man. It means a lot. I wanted to make videos on that because there's nobody who really explains it, I believe, in an easy to digest manner. All right, so this is, if you guys want to look at the list too, it's on Morningstar, which is actually a really good resource. I'll put it in the link. But overall, these are like top large growth stocks this year. I quickly want to go over them, kind of like their business model, how I think I could see them potentially going in the next year to 2 years, and then we can look at some smaller caps companies. So the first one, let me get this up. So I'll make it a little smaller so we can refer to charts too. Okay, there we go. All right, so the first one is Adobe. If you're somebody who is not a content creator or a marketer or doing anything as far as like creating, Adobe might not seem like it's that big of a deal. I mean, Adobe has had one hell of a year, ticker ADBE. So within the past year, Adobe is up almost, what was that, 55% or something? It's up almost 54%. So Adobe is a phenomenal company. Their products are amazing. So Adobe makes Lightroom, they make Photoshop, they make Adobe Premiere Pro, they make Adobe Illustrator. So basically, if you do anything with art, anything with marketing, anything with like social media marketing, anything, literally anything that requires graphics and video, Adobe is phenomenal. The other thing too is one of the biggest platforms for actual video editing has been Final Cut Pro, and a lot of the people who love Final Cut Pro X has been like the worst version of it, and it doesn't seem like they're fixing any of the problems. So a lot of big editors, including myself, kind of moved over to Adobe Premiere Pro. Adobe has done an amazing job, just like a lot of these other companies, in pivoting their business model. So for a lot of the longest time, you had to buy these products straight up. So if you bought like the 2020 version of Adobe Photoshop, it'd be like $300. Well, now it's a monthly bill. So I think you get every single one of them for like $120 a month, which is great because it's like a reoccurring subscription business service. Adobe technically actually looks like it's going to break out. But looking at Adobe going into 2021, let's see, like Adobe PE ratio. What's Adobe's PE? So it's 39, average is 54. So Adobe, I would say, is not I would say quickly, without accessing everything, I think Adobe is going to have a great year in 2021. I think that Adobe is fairly valued. You're definitely not getting a deal here at $500 a share, but I think that Adobe is fairly valued. And it's something that I would potentially add to my portfolio if it fell down to like $350. Next one is AMD, or Advanced Micro Devices. I don't know as much as my students know about semiconductors. I was buying AMD at like $5 a share like 5 years ago. I love AMD though. Who's their CEO? She's, I forget her name. I think it's Susan Chung, AMD CEO. She is an amazing CEO. Lisa Su. God, I'm sorry. That was completely wrong. Lisa Su. She is an amazing CEO. Not like, I don't want to say like she's the best woman CEO. I really think she is, but she is one of the best CEOs out there. She has had amazing leadership with this company. She has done a lot for this company. Overall, they are really starting to get ahead as far as their chips. Like, they just came out with their new Ryzen processors, and I know that like Intel and a lot of other companies have delayed a lot of their processors and a lot of their chips simply for the fact that a lot of supply chains have been killed due to the Rona. AMD, you are not getting a deal here, in my personal opinion. If you're holding for 5 years or more, it's not bad. But for me, I think AMD is going to have a great 2021, and it's probably fairly valued. Align. So Align Technologies. One of my bigger investments in 2020 was Smile Direct Club. If you guys know them, made pretty good money off of them. Align is kind of like Smile Direct Club, where they are you guys know Invisalign, but they're like a alternative to getting braces. So you mail away, they send you a little mold, you take a mold in your mouth, and then you end up sending it back, and I think it's like $2,000 or $3,000. They send you basically retainers that fix your teeth. The cool thing that they do is, if you're a younger kid or a college student, you don't have money to buy it up front, you can actually finance it through them. Overall, I think Align, and you can see there's a big spike here during Rona, and I think a lot of that, obviously their sales went through the roof, but I think a lot of it is because since you're stuck at home, why not fix your teeth? The thing is, with Align and Smile Direct Club, you have to wear these things 13 hours a day. And while they are see-through, you can still tell that you're wearing them. So I think that during that time, a lot of people are like, dude, I'm working from home. Like, why? I'm doing school from home. Why not just fix my teeth in the process? So I don't think you're getting a deal on Align. But I'd be looking to buy it if it could ever fall back down to $340. Alphabet, Google. I mean, Google's a savage in itself. Overall, I think Google's going to have a good 21. Of FANG, I like Google the least. I really do. I like that they own YouTube. They're an amazing company, but I think that their room for growth of any of the FANG is probably the slimmest and the slowest. But overall, great investment. I don't think you're getting a deal, though. American Tower Corporation, I don't know anything about this company in the slightest. American Tower owns and operates 180,000 cell towers throughout the U.S., Asia, Latin America, Europe, and the Middle East. It leases spaces on its towers to wireless service providers. I don't know anything about this company. I literally can't even give you guys any potential thoughts on it. Same with Autodesk. I know they've been around for a bit, since like the 80s, 82. They're an application software company that serves industries in architecture, engineering, construction, product design, manufacturing, media, entertainment. Autodesk software enables designs, modeling, and rendering its needs of these industries. I don't know anything about Autodesk. If you guys have anything to say about Autodesk or anything else, let me know. I don't know anything. Carvana. Oh my God. All right. I need some water before this. I was buying Carvana, and I was bullish on Carvana like 3-4 years ago when it first IPO'd down at $16. You are not getting a deal on Carvana, in my opinion, right now. If Carvana could really pull back down to like 160, I think the future is extremely, extremely bright for Carvana. They are extremely overvalued right now as it stands. But I just bought a car from Carvana, like for my girlfriend during the Roni, and it was amazing. So we tried out like multiple cars. We didn't touch anybody. We didn't talk to anybody. And here's the main thing. We did all the funding through it. And here's the thing I really liked. Like, I don't care. I'm not worried about Corona or scared about Corona. I already got Corona a couple weeks ago. It sucked. But actually, I was on the brink of death. It was really terrible. But it's not something I'm going to like change my life for. But overall, I liked I didn't have to deal with a car salesman. Like, I'm sorry if there's any car salesmen here. I hate talking to car salesmen. I understand you got to get paid. I completely respect the hustle, but I just hate dealing with car salesmen. And it was a great experience. Like, I really liked it. There was no negotiating. There was no haggling. Picking it up was perfect. They were really cool with like returning some cars and fixing some problems that the cars had. They were phenomenal. And when we look going into like 2021, 2022, 2023, we like the least human interaction that we can possibly get. I feel like I'm a dying breed where like I love people. I love talking to people. I feel like I'm very charismatic, but in general, we don't like talking to people anymore. For even me, I would rather go online, get my car, trade it in, buy another one, not deal with anybody. So overall, Carvana, big one. Charter Communications, I don't know. If Carvana could pull back, I would hit Carvana extremely hard. If it could get back to like 150, I don't think so, but right now it's just too overvalued. Unless you're holding for 10 years. Chipotle, here's the thing. Chipotle, I think, is extremely overvalued here too. I think Chipotle has done amazing things as far as the creating and pioneering this new style of eating. So I like the whole, you walk up, you get food, they throw it into the containers for you. But the main thing I really like about Chipotle is pre-Rona. It's a place that you can go in to eat. You could have a lunch meeting with somebody. You could even go there for lunch with your girlfriend. Like, it's not, date material, but you don't have to deal with a waiter. You don't have to worry about waiting for somebody to come and get your check and then going through the whole deal of sitting somewhere. Like, you walk in, you get food, you're there for under a half hour, you get exactly what you want, and boom, you're out. So I love that style. The thing for me personally is it's ridiculously valued right here, in my opinion. Like, It really is. So for me, I would not be buying Chipotle unless it's down at 800. I probably wouldn't even buy Chipotle. I'd probably buy Chipotle at 600. I doubt it'll ever be there again. But yeah, I do see decent growth for Chipotle. DocuSign. So DocuSign is a really I think DocuSign is going to have a great year. Two, we've had a lot of consolidation within the past 6 months after this massive breakout by Roni. I think DocuSign is going to have a great year. I've used them before. I think that you look at a lot of companies, which we'll see this a lot with some other growth companies, but you look at a lot of companies now, a lot of companies can work for home for a fraction of the price that they were paying for these massive high-rise offices. And DocuSign is like a must for any corporation. It really is. Even somebody like myself, like it's amazing. So overall, I think DocuSign's not a deal, but I think it's going to have great growth in 2021. Facebook, so another big FANG. For me, I think Facebook's coming under a lot of pressure right now for like their monopolization of social media. They're trying to break up the companies of Instagram and Facebook. I don't know how Facebook is going to do this year. They have the best balance sheet out of any company I have ever seen in my entire life next to Skyworks Solutions. I think that they have huge room to grow, but I don't know how long we're going to allow this invasion of privacy rolling over people, censoring people, and really monopolization happen. I don't know. I think the biggest thing that could trash Facebook would be like restrictions and the government breaking them apart. That's the biggest thing I see for Facebook. For me, I would not be buying Facebook long term here. I'd want to see it down at 220. Let's see. January 9th can make you a lot of money. What was January 9th? I don't know. ADSK and DSTY should be more of an infrastructure projects to get life, and more 3D printing comes into manufacturing. I don't know what those companies are. Let me see. ADSK. Oh, Autodesk, yeah. And DSTY. Dassault Systems. I have to look into that. I don't know anything about 3D printing. I don't know anything about those companies. I have to look into that. Thank you, though, Plague. How do you feel about SPAQS? So I don't really mess with SPACs. I don't really know too much. That's not my forte. Even though you know who I trade, I really just trade major companies, but off of options. So I don't know. I should probably make a video on that and spend a lot of time researching SPAQS and just SPACs in general, because I really don't know anything. I'll be honest with you. So I should actually do that, because a lot of people have been asking me, and I just kind of jump over the subject because I don't want to talk about things that I don't know. That's Facebook. January 9th. Oh yeah, Neo Day. That's what it was. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, so Neo Day, I could totally do that. I should look into Neo Day. I know a lot of people have been talking about it, and also too, we have this like major kind of trading breakout that's happening on Neo. I sold too soon on this trade that I had a couple weeks ago. Actually, Neo could have a good entry at 45, but Neo is looking like we're gonna hit about $60 again. Hopefully DeFi sites stop at Facebook control. Yeah, can you? I sent you a Bud PM, a video personal message, on Discord. I don't have my Discord open. Oh yeah, I see. Okay, cool. Bought it at 11. It's at 16 today. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at that when I get done, Dave, for sure. John, can you take a look at Facebook for me? Starbucks, I'm sorry. Yeah, so as a trade, Starbucks actually looking pretty good. We have this gap. We filled the gap. We have this bull flag pattern that is setting up here on the daily. If you look at the 4 hour, actually looks pretty freaking good. Could probably fall down to 101. Starbucks, this is one we're not talking about right now because it wasn't on there, but long term, I think Starbucks has a great future. 2021, I think Starbucks is gonna have a good future too. I think we're gonna bounce. I really do. See if we can look at the flow today. So there was no options flow today, no dark pool movement today. But overall, for John, I would say that if we break 100, I would get out. But it looks like we're gonna take a bounce here. I will teach you about the 3D and DSTY. It's just expensive per share. Yeah, dude, let's do it up. Rego and NNDM's also great. I'm up 5K on that one. I have 1,000 shares of that. NNDM. Nano Dimensions. I've heard of this before. I have to look into this. Dude, congratulations though. It's freaking huge. A big put. Did it say 1050? Same here, Rego. But did you see what happened in the last 10 minutes today in the trade? Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it did dip a bit. I don't know what news. I don't know anything about this company. But congratulations. That's a big payday. So the other one is Intuit. Intuit, I think, is gonna have a great year. If you guys don't know Intuit, they make QuickBooks, they make TurboTax, they make a lot of different things, with a lot of companies being online. Intuit is like a staple of any company. I pay Intuit like $200 a month. Lululemon. So Lululemon has had a huge past couple of years. They just bought that Mirror Fitness company. So I think Lululemon's going to have a great year. MasterCard, I don't see much growth, but I don't think it's a bad investment. Microsoft, I think that they are going to have a great year. I still think Microsoft is like a little undervalued. I really do. Netflix, you guys in my academy know I hate Netflix. I don't like Netflix. I think that in the next 10 years, Netflix will not, I don't know if I'll say they won't be around, but they won't be as big as they are now. They burn way too much money creating Netflix originals. And with so much competition now, I don't believe in Netflix that much for the next couple of years. PayPal, I think they're going to do really well. Peloton, I love Peloton. Even now, I'd be buying Peloton if I had more long-term investment money around. Pinterest, I love Pinterest. They are not a deal. For those of you who know, the past 2 earnings, I've called out Pinterest on our academy, and we made a crap ton of money. Each time Pinterest ran 30-40% on earnings. I don't know if that's going to happen this time, but a lot of people, I don't know if you use Pinterest, but there is a lot more marketing on Pinterest now. A lot more ad revenue and ad dollars are going into Pinterest. Overall, I think Pinterest is going to have a really good year. I do. Probably could get some pull back down, but you sound just like the Peloton commercials. I should get a Peloton, honestly. They're really not that much. Snapchat, I think is going to have a good year, but they're not appropriately valued. Squarespace and Square in general, I love Square. They are extremely expensive right now. Not a fair price at all, but I really like them. Tesla, you guys, I'm stating for the record, I know you guys are not going to like me. I don't think Tesla's going to have a good year. I see by this time next year, Tesla trading at $700 a share. Like, I think we're going to be back where we are. I really do. Unless Tesla smashes it with the Model Y and then gets the Cybertruck out and they can get their actual like spending under control, they could kill it. But I think we're just so overvalued right now. But here's the thing, guys. When Tesla was down at 350, I was saying it's overvalued. So take it with a grain of salt, you know. Estee Lauder, I don't trust that. Twilio, I love Twilio. I think Twilio is an amazing company. I do not think Twilio is a fair value. Uber, I love Uber. I think Uber is going to freaking kill 2021. I actually would be buying Uber here still. Yeah, and Zoom. I think Zoom is not appropriately priced, but I like Zoom. I think Zoom is going to have a good year. So those are the growth companies. If you want me to look at more, I mean, you can let me know. But overall, those I feel very strong. If I had to look at companies, Skyworks is another one. If I had to say companies I would buy for 2021, it would definitely be Skyworks Solutions. It would definitely be probably Peloton. I forget all the companies we just went over, but the companies I stated, I like those a lot. I really do. They are all centered around technology. Smile Direct Club, I still think is a great value. Oh my God, Smile Direct Club's at 14. I had like $50,000 at 7. I still think Smile Direct Club is fairly valued. I still think Virgin Galactic is a YOLO and a half, but I still think that it's going to have a huge 2021. I think it's undervalued. And even Palantir, if Palantir could fall down to 20, I'd be buying it. I did. They need to pull back a bit, but it's okay. Don't panic. So, in my opinion, very true. You just like Peloton commercials. There's no other company like NNDM, the first of its kind. It means Tesla. The Tesla of its nature is true. Kathy Wood believes that too. Yo, Kathy Wood has become like how Elon Musk has become like an idol. She's a savage. She's a killer. She's done really well for ARK. It's really cool though. Like I'm really happy the way that the stock market is becoming a lot more public. More people are following it. More people are caring about it. It's really cool. I do unfortunately think there's a lot of misinformation out there. You guys have any questions? You guys have any just like general trading questions, general investing questions, just questions in general? If not, we can hop off, but let me know. I've been sitting in my office since like 7 a.m. I feel like I'm going crazy. Thoughts on NERD? Listed funds, BitK ETF. I don't know. No, dude, I scheduled in another half hour, so like we're good. As long as you guys got questions, I got answers. I don't know anything about NERD. Taxes, let's talk about it. I don't know anything about this company. I don't know what they do from a technical analysis side of things. We've been making very, very nice, I mean, we're up a lot, but very nice movement, big push-ups, consolidations, looking like it's probably going to fall down to $30 and could take a push-up. I don't know exactly what it is, though. And for some reason, the Analyze tab is just not working. Taxes, where you go. What specifically? Like on just trading, investing? How do you pay them? Well, as far as taxes, let's kind of go through it. So if you are somebody who is trading stocks, and you buy and you sell within a year, you're going to get what's called short-term capital gains. So essentially, with short-term capital gains on any profit that you have to pay what your income tax is. So say you pay like 28% taxes at your job, you'll have to pay 28% taxes on your investments. If you buy and sell within a year, whether it's selling options, buying options, selling shares, doing whatever, you got to pay your income taxes on that. Now, if you're holding something and you haven't sold it yet, the percentage is whatever your income is. So like say you make over $100,000 at your job and your tax range is like 33%, then you have to pay 33% on your taxes. If you bought and sold under a year. If you bought and you've held it for over a year and you sold, you get what's called long-term capital gains. That is 15%. So it's a lot better, but I don't really have any long-term capital gains because I sell everything too early. As far as losses, for anybody who has accrued any losses, if you don't have your account under a business, you can only write off $3,000 worth of losses per year. So let's say you took a $10,000 loss this year. You could take that 10 grand, write $3,000 of that loss off this year. You can roll $3,000 of losses up until the next year. You can roll $3,000 of losses up until 2023, and then take the final $1,000 worth of losses and put it for 2024. And you answered first part, thanks. Let's say next year I don't sell any stocks and just continue to put more money in. You don't pay any taxes. So you only pay taxes when you sell. If you've been holding positions for like this whole year and you haven't sold anything, you don't pay any taxes. You only pay taxes when you sell. Now, if you're somebody who does this for a living, or if you're somebody who owns a business, what you can do is I wouldn't create an LLC. An LLC will help you it's not going to give you much tax breaks. It will, rather than just being like a normal trader or an investor. But if you start an LLC, it will give you it'll end up giving you the protection from being sued, But if you want to save money on your taxes, you create an S corporation, because an S corporation, you can put your account under it and you only pay 20% taxes, no matter how much money you make, how much little or how much money you make. You only pay 20% taxes as a business, and you get to write everything off. You get to write off your computers. You get to write off your, if you own a, you get to write off your computers. You get to write off courses. Like, so for me with my academy is an S corporation. And then in 2021, I'll be putting both my broker, well, all three of my brokers under my academy. So I can write off my vehicle. I can write off my office. I can write off all of my gear. I spent like 30 grand this year in gear. I can write off one vacation a year. I can write off any health insurance that I pay for myself, or any dental insurance I pay for myself. I can write off employees. So say I made 150 grand this year, but I hired 3 employees and paid them 50 grand a piece. I don't have to pay any taxes this year. So it's really, really good. It's just a lot more like bull crap you have to go through. Also, guys, hit the like button. It helps. I hate saying that. I hate when people say that, but it actually does help. What do you think about oil this year? Dave, I don't know anything about commodities in general. Like, I stay away from oil, but it does look like it's heading back up to 65 a barrel. The problem is a lot of these, like Gush and Drip and what's the other one? CLM? No. What's Occidental Petroleum. These companies, they're not recovering as much as actual oil futures are. That's crazy. Come to Switzerland, guys. You won't get taxed on that since you invested money you already paid before taxes. Dude, I need to come to Switzerland in general, Pascal. I really do. On long terms, do you have to pay every year, or only when? So it's not when you take it out, it's when you sell. So that's the other thing. I know a lot of people who are like, well, I didn't take the money out of the market. They're like, I just ended up, I kept it in my broker. If you sell, you have to pay taxes that year. So say, if you held longer than 3 years, do I have to pay taxes every year, or at the time you take it out? The time you take it out. So, Rigo, say you buy Tesla today. It's, December, it's 2020. And you hold it until 2022. You have to pay taxes for the year of 2022 on that money once you sell it. But what happens is, what a lot of people do, they just never pay taxes, because they end up just keep buying and buying and buying, like dividend companies, and then they live off of the dividends, but they never sell the company. The other thing you can do is, like, if you buy real estate, you can do like a 1031 exchange, which is another good thing that has to do with real estate though, but that will help you not have to pay as much taxes either. There are a lot of ways around things. There are a lot of people much smarter than me in the world of taxes too, especially with real estate, like Private Money Guy. Dave, you're a savage when it comes to real estate. We got to do a stream together too. I never said that for a bit, but yeah, no problem. I mean, I'm not a CPA. I don't know. Like, this is just what I've done in my life. So talk to somebody. The one thing that I will say, because I worked in a law office for 5 years, when it comes to lawyers, when it comes to doctors, and when it comes to taxes and tax accountants, get the best that you can pay for. Don't care. You can skimp out on a lot of crap in your life. Don't skimp out on accountants. Get the best accountant that you could possibly have, because the more money you make, the more money you save. If I pay some guy like $800 to do my taxes this year, and he's bad at it and he can't get me all the write-offs I want, well, guess what? What if I pay some guy $4,000, but he can save me $5 grand on my taxes this year, or $6 grand on my taxes this year? Okay, how about if I sell a stock and then I buy it back into the same stock? So that's called a wash sale. And it's the same thing. You'll still get taxed. Yeah, you'll still get taxed. As soon as you hit that sell button, it's going to get sent to the IRS, and then you're going to get what's called a Schedule K1. And in K1s, you end up, it's an investment tax. So everybody here, if you have a stock market account, you will get a K1 from your broker. You might have to go, if you have Robinhood, you'll have to go and download it in the app. Puerto Rico, you pay 4%. Dude, I've really thought about moving to Puerto Rico. I really have thought about it. Like, I have friends in San Juan too. Let's see. ACST, Nomad Investor. Let's take a look. ACST. So Cassia Pharmaceuticals, I don't know anything about this company. From a trading standpoint, this is not something I touch. Like I said before, I'm somebody who loves volatility. I love volatility. But I don't trade pennies. They're just too easily manipulated. So what I'd like to do when I want volatility and I want leverage is I trade options. I don't know anything about this company, unfortunately, Nomad. But if you look at the past 3 years, it's been in essentially a consistent downtrend rather than that massive push that we had. It's just personally not something I would trade. However, it does look like if we can break through 46 cents, that we could potentially get this move up to 81 cents where there's a major resistance. So for me, I don't know anything about it, but from an investment standpoint, it's totally up to you. From a trading standpoint, 46 cents is where I'd be looking for a potential breakout. Yeah, and a self-directed Roth. Everybody here, you should definitely have a Roth IRA. You get no taxes when you take it out, and you. The thing too is I don't even believe you have to use a Roth for stocks. I think you could actually use a Roth, somebody was saying, for real estate, but you get to max that out to $6,000 a year. MMEDF, this is the mushroom company. I don't know anything about this company, MATV, but I know a lot of people have been making bank on this bad boy. All right, let's talk about this. So, like I said, fundamentally, I don't know anything about this company. However, we have had this is actually a really good lesson that we can talk about here. Market cycle chart. Okay, this is if I can find the photo I want, this is gonna be a great learning example for you guys. This, okay, so what the hell? All right, let's take a look at this real quick. So you guys can see here, I'm gonna make this big. This is a normal market cycle. This cycle happens with everything. Jenny, thank you so much. Hello. So here's the thing. This happens with every single type of market cycle. This is essentially the holy grail to trading and just investing. What usually happens is we have what's called a stealth phase. So we have a phase where basically it happens with smaller companies where smart money knows what this company does. This is people, it happens a lot with doctors, where doctors know a certain pharmaceutical company, they know something that they're really into, but it just doesn't have any public investors, it doesn't have any public awareness, so the stock doesn't go anywhere because we need volume. So we have this point where we have smart money, where the stock is just slowly moving up, and then we start to get a takeoff. This is where institutional investors start to come in. So Goldman Sachs hedge fund managers, Goldman Sachs and professional floor traders, hedge fund managers, other whales in general, they start to buy, and then we get an initial sell-off. So in the market, we have what's called a bear trap. And a bear trap is when we have a big push up and then we start to get a fade. People who got in at the bottom are like, I got to get out, because we're going to start dying. And then it doesn't, it takes a big push up. Then what happens is we get into what's called the media attention and the public. This, for those of you who are in Facebook groups or Wall Street Bets and stuff, this is where the market makes it ridiculous. This is where it gets pumped through all these Reddit threads, through all these Facebook threads, through all these YouTubers. People just start buying. It gets media attention. We get mass enthusiasm. We start to get extremely greedy. There's insane delusion. And then we hit this top. And then we get a big sell-off. And let me just show you guys something really quick. And it doesn't mean this has to happen. But where do you guys think we are right now? If you're looking at this chart, which you can see to the right of me above my head, and we're looking at this chart I put here of market cycles, where are we in this cycle? Where would you think we are in this cycle? We are at the denial, in my opinion. So we hit this massive all-time high where it started to get delusional. We started to get into this crazy stage. And now we have what's called a bull trap. And a bull trap is when the market dies. Not the market, I'm sorry. The stock dies. It catches a bounce. Everybody who didn't get into it when it was low is like, I need to get in. I need to get in. I need to get in. The stock catches a bounce. Big money says big old F you to all these retail investors. They take profits off the table. The thing craps the bed. There's a ton of fear. There's a ton of capitulation. The stock dies, and then it returns back to normal. So let's take a look at this right now. And here's the thing, guys. I am not saying that this is what for sure is happening with this stock, but this happens a lot. So if you look, we have the same thing through this whole section here, like 3 years. I'm sorry, not 3 years, 3 months. Do you think all stocks are in that stage? We can definitely talk about that, Jenny. It's a great question. But we have this like section where the people who were probably investing in Mind Medicine, these were people who, I don't want to say knew what they were doing, but they knew the company. They knew, pharmaceutical or psilocybin. They understood mushrooms. They understood how to use them within this business matter. I don't know exactly what this company does, by the way, but these are the people who truly knew, put the research, put the time into it, and they knew it before anybody else knew it. Then we started to get into the institutional investors, and bigger money started to get in. That you could see right here, like literally, this is what, 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago. This is where the media took this to an insane rage, and we ripped 232% in 11 days. Now, do you think 232% in 11 days is healthy? No. And now, if you had to ask me, who was this? Matvey? If you were to ask me, I think that Mind Medicine is probably going to bounce back up to 375, and then I think it's going to crap the bed. I think Mind Medicine will be down in the next 2 months to about $1.75, and then from there, we will probably stabilize. If you were to draw a trend line, it lines up perfectly with $1.75 to $2. So I'm not saying this is a bad investment, Matt V. I don't know anything about the company as far as an investment. We could take a big bounce and go up to all-time highs. But all around, I wouldn't be buying it personally. I gotta put some music on, guys. Sorry. There we go. So yeah, this happens to a lot of things. This happened to Bitcoin back before. It's happening to Bitcoin again. Bull traps are real. I mean, look at Tesla. This is going to be a while ago, but the same thing sort of happened to Tesla back when we got this initial big push up. There was this bull trap. We thought we were going to make a new high, and then we took a fade. Let's see. Puerto Rico, you need to do harvesting. What about CNK? We can look at CNK. Cinemark Holdings. So this, we actually look like we push on this. So we have a gap to fill right here. We have a major resistance at $17, but with good buying pressure, we have thin volume here. Who was this? I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. But CNK actually looks pretty freaking good as a trade. It really does. So I actually like this. This isn't bad. We're getting a big pennant here. So we're either going to break support of 1550 and die down to 1250, or we're going to break out. So I actually like this. Thank you for your answers. I appreciate it. Rigo, that's what I'm here for. Thank you. So say you pay taxes on 5 to 6K you put in, but then take that account to 50 or 100,000 or $1 million, you pay no taxes in profit. Yeah, that's amazing. And you can trade options on it too. Is FANG in the public stage? Do you think stocks are at that stage? Jenny, that is a phenomenal question. And yes, I do. I don't think FANG is in that. Here's the thing. So when you're looking at something, when you're looking at a market cycle of what was that? MMDEF? Is that what it is? Mind Medicine? What was it? I'm sorry. Oh, MMEDF. When you're looking at a market cycle of something like MMEDF, this is only like 3 months, 4 months. But when you're looking at a market cycle of something like the S&P 500 or something like Apple, you're not going to see the same type of market cycle happen on a daily chart. You have to go back and look at the past 10 years. And you have to go look back at the past 3 years at least. And do I think that we are in this cycle? Yes, I do. I don't think that, here's the thing, there's a lot of value in the FANG right now, but I do think that we're getting into that public craziness thing. Like, let me ask you guys a question. And I'm not saying anything bad to anybody, so please, I'm not attacking anybody or anything. How long have you been trading? Just quickly throw it out. And just because you've been trading longer doesn't mean you're a better trader. We all know that. But just quickly, how long have you guys been trading, or just how long have you guys been into the stock market? Rafael, you said, I think 3 months is really small cycle. Psilocybin is just the beginning. Dude, I agree with you, Rafael. So here's the thing. When it comes to psilocybin in general, long term, dude, I think it's amazing. Like, I have done a lot of psychedelics in my life. They've helped me so much. And I think that they have a lot of help cognitively with a lot of people. So overall, I think long term, psilocybin's the future. I truly do. And we're seeing a lot of states start to really go out there and legalize it. So I do think long term psilocybin is phenomenal investment, and any company that has to do with it. I'm just saying right now, I think it's been hyped up. All right, so let's just look at this pattern here. Adrian, I've been trading for 9 months. Moshe, 9 months. Azrapreet, I'm sorry if I say your name wrong, 5 months. Elena, 1 year. Rigo, since March. Pascal, 5 months. So you guys all realize something. You guys have all been trading, I don't know if it's because, but around Rona. So this, I can't say the word, but this shmemic has caused a lot of you guys to start investing and trading. Right? I've been doing this for 7 years. It's not like it makes me a better person. Like, I'm so cool. I've done it before. It was cool. But it's one of those things where there is a bubble. We have never, ever had this many retail traders. That's what we are called. We're not we're retail traders and retail investors. We don't work for hedge funds and banks and all that. We have never had this many people. And the home office effect. I agree, Pascal. We have never had this many people trading stocks. We haven't. And when I first started trading about 7 years ago, it was right before Robinhood came out. Dude, there was not a lot of traders or a lot of investors like me. When I started investing and when I started trading, I just thought the stock market was old, rich, white dudes. Because I remember watching my old, rich, white grandfather call his broker on the phone. And I didn't even understand that. Not until 20-something years ago, you had to call a guy and have him put your orders in. The fact that you can download an application, put your social security card in, you can just take a screenshot of your driver's license and then put 10 grand in there and just start trading is insane. So we have never had this many retail investors in the market ever. And so Jenny, going back to your question, I think we are. I think a lot of stocks are overpriced. And that's why we see things, and we'll talk about NEO. Somebody asked me about NEO. That's why we see things like NEO, and we see things like Palantir, and we see things like, what are some big ones too? Like SPCE is another popular one by millennials. There is you guys can see it's pretty nuts. Robinhood traders get an extremely bad reputation, but there's this website you can go on. It's called RobinTrack. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. RobinTrack.net. And what RobinTrack will show you is the price of a stock and when Robinhood buyers started buying it. So look at something like NEO. Right? This green line is the amount of Robinhood buyers. So look at, as NEO is going up, more and more Robinhood buyers are getting in. If you look at something like Palantir, Palantir hasn't been around long enough, but if you look at something like American Airlines, as American Airlines crapped the bed, Robinhood buyers were buying in. As CCL crapped the bed, Robinhood buyers were going in. What are some other meme type companies? And this is the thing, is there's a lot of money that retail investors have in the stock market right now, and not a lot of people are taking profits. And so this is why we have this bubble effect forming in tech companies overall. And I don't know how this is going to end up for a lot of people. unfortunately, and I'm extremely happy that there are so many people who are getting into trading. I think overall, like I just think overall we're gonna see a pretty sizable pullback at some point. And I'm not saying it's wrong. Like I see Pascal, you said I made good money with American Airlines to CCL. I made a killing on it. I'm extremely happy. I made a killing on NEO too, and I think I lost about 2,700 on one of those trades. But it's not like it's a bad thing. It's just a different thing because there's so many people who have more money. Like, here's some question about you, or something you guys should think about yourself, or just your life in general. How many people do you know invest or know about investing? 10 years ago, not a single person had heard that I knew was active in the stock market. 7 years ago, nobody I knew was active in the stock market. 4 years ago, nobody I knew was active in the stock market. You can go to the bar, your bartender will know about the stock market. He's probably buying Tesla stock. That he probably has a broker account. Your barista probably has a broker account. The janitor somewhere has a broker account. The guy, and I'm not saying these are like bad jobs or anything, but like everyone knows at least about the stock market or has some sort of money in the stock market. And when everybody is doing it and everybody is jumping in is usually when people get slaughtered. And I'm not saying the market's going to die. I just said at the beginning of the stream, I think 2021 is going to be a great year for the market. But I do think that we're getting to this weird point where there's a lot of people who are investing in the market. And it's not necessarily good or a bad thing. I just think that there's a lot of misinformation out there. And it sucks because a lot of the I say old dogs, but I'm only 32. A lot of the older guys like me, the people who like know what they're talking about, don't make videos. They don't teach people. Or if they do, they don't teach people for free. Because they don't care. They don't care what the new blood is doing. They're just there to make the money, and they're just there to pump up the stocks for them. It's only people like me and I really only know 3 real traders. My mentors, and I just want to give back. Let's go through some stuff to see here. NEO, please. All right, so NEO, from a long-term investment standpoint, I love NEO. I said before, I've been buying NEO. I was buying NEO at $1.90 a share. I sold obviously way too soon, but I think NEO is a phenomenal company long term. I've done a deep dive video on my main YouTube channel. If you guys want to check that out, I have the link to my main channel down below. I also have the link to my private academy if you guys want to join. It's 90% off for the first month. Talked about it earlier. Live stream like this every morning with them. Go over what I'm trading, why I'm trading it. And it's $10 for your first month. You also get access to our Discord. It's like 340 people there. But I like NEO long term. Like I really do. Like even here, if you're buying for the next 5 to 10 years, I think it's still not a bad investment. From a trading standpoint, this bad boy is looking pretty good. We got a massive bull flag here on NEO. We have this potential breakout here. This could be a bull trap, but we have this breakout here. We bounced off of this support of $40 like a freaking charm. We're holding support. For me, if you entered or you're holding as a trade, not as an investment, as investment doesn't matter. Nothing changes about the business. Bouncing off 45, I think we could see NEO, especially after NEO day, probably up at $60. For sure. Guess the dangerous thing is that we all made money the best month since 1987. It gives you impression that things are going up. Pascal, you hit the, I can't curse, man. I curse a lot, guys. I'm sorry. You hit the nail on the head. This is what scares me. Because I talked about this when we first started trading. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I made a crap ton of money. Let's just put this out there on the table. You don't have to know squat about the stock market to make a crap load of money. You don't. What do you have to do in order to put on a winning trade? What do you have to do? You literally have to just put money in an account, go to some random ticker, hit the buy button, come back 4 days later, hit the sell button. That's all it takes. Like, that's all it takes. Now, how do you make money consistently for 7, 10, 20, 30, 40 years? That's the difference. And Pascal, you hit the nail on the head. That's why 90% of people fail. This isn't easy. I've seen so many people fail. The only reason I'm here is because I was, my girlfriend can attest, I was dumb enough to just keep doing it. I was losing so much money, but I said to myself, and to some people I'd be dumb that I didn't give up, but I said to myself, people do it. Like 90% of people fail, but there are 10% of people who do this for a living. And I'm not going to give up until I do it. And so Pascal, the fact that you made a ton of money, and everybody here has probably made a lot of money in the past 9 months, but you know that it could mess with your psychology is huge. Remember, guys, if you made a lot of money this year, you might have just been lucky. I've made $3,000 this week. I might have just been lucky this week. So remember that. There was a lot of probabilities and luck, and not in investing. That's the thing. Investing is completely different. I'm talking specifically about trading here. As far as investing, it's not luck. It's you actually doing the work and reading articles and listening to earnings calls and evaluating companies. But from a trading standpoint, when you really think about it, what does it take for you to put on a winning trade? Nothing. You could hand a monkey a button with $10,000 in the phone and say, hit the button that says buy, monkey. Okay, 2 days later, hit the button that says sell. Takes nothing to make money in the market. But I think that's great, Pascal. The fact that you said to yourself, and you think that, we made money in the best months ever. Anybody can make money in a bull market. It's what happens when the market's dying. Shman shmemic. It's very true. But when you get a chance, do some deep research on NEO and NNDM. You won't be disappointed. Yeah, I've done a lot of research on NEO, and I really do like NEO. I don't think they're fairly valued if you're looking for the next 1 to 2 years, but I do think long-term they're amazing. I do have to look at NNDM, and I will look more into MMEDF for sure. GNUS. Check GNUS. Dude, this thing is ridiculous. What was the other one? UAVS was the other one. It was big. Yeah, I mean, I don't trade these. You guys know these. We are finding support at 150. Look like we could bounce. For me, it's not my cup of tea. Doesn't mean you can't make money there. But it does look like it's going to probably bounce. Made good money with AAL and CCL. Yeah, American Airlines and CCL is phenomenal. I mean, here's the thing, though. There were people who were, quote unquote, buying the dip when the dip was at $40. I started buying CCL at 40. Luckily, I waited to average down heavy at $7.80, but I was buying it at 40 and 38. Dogecoin, so much me. Thoughts on Hexo reverse split? I don't know anything about Hexo. So I don't know anything about Hexo. The thing is, though, is that the GNUS was for the Robin track. Dude, yeah, that's GNUS is definitely gonna have a ton of that Robin track. So let me put this up real quick. Yeah, so you can see as GNUS popped tons of Robin Hooders. And here's the thing, guys. Something I want you to realize real quick, and Moshe, we're gonna come back to this. Look at Bag Holding Central here. We spiked, but look at this. So this doesn't show you the buying, it shows you what's holding. So people were buying it at all the way up at $11, and even though the thing is still dying, Robin Hooders are still holding GNUS, which means they're just bag holding it, praying that it's going to come back. Hexo's reverse split. Here's the thing: reverse splits are usually never good. But I don't know anything about Hexo, unfortunately. But reverse splits are usually never good. I can look more into it. That's why I'm thankful for you, Pete. Thank you, John. No problem. You guys. OCGN. OCGN. Another one. I don't know anything about this. Penny stock. Extremely volatile. Probably something I wouldn't touch. Here's the thing, guys. I have seen a lot of penny stocks, and a penny stock is a company under $5. Let me ask you guys, why do you trade penny stocks? There's not a wrong answer. I just want to ask people. Like, I don't know why. Why do you guys trade penny stocks? Because if it's for volatility and huge paydays, you can do it with options on big companies and have, in my opinion, a much better chance of making money. And that's not like I'm not coming at anybody's neck. I'm just wondering because I've never wanted to trade a penny stock. Like, I've done it before, and I made good money when Luckin took that initial dump. I still want the monkey paper trading account for New Year's. I jumped out of FRSX 3 days ago. FRSX. Oh, Jesus Christ, these things. Molson Coors partnership, huge market share in Canadian cannabis market, and we'll be creating CBD and THC. I'll have to look into it then, Moshe, because normally it's not really the best, but I can look into it. Okay, so any thoughts on XPEV? So I have not looked into XPEV long term. I know they're like an electric car company. I have done technical analysis on it. From a technical standpoint, XPEV actually looks like it's going to push. We have this big descending wedge with a bullish divergence, TTM squeezing here, support at 42.50. Who was this? Who asked about Pascal? Pascal, if it breaks below 41.50, I would probably set a stop loss there, or $40, but it is looking like it could take a big push up. Okay, so pump and dumps, cheaper, more shares, more hope, YOLO, probably some kind of gold rush, catalyst, especially for RONA's testing. Check out GME, made a crazy jump from last week. That's insane. We'll talk about that. Bio started as a penny. Neo was a penny too. What's 500 to hopefully make 10K? So here's the thing is, I agree with you. I like volatility and leverage. Those of you who are in my academy, I made 1,800 trading today. How much money did I have to put up to make that 1,800 bucks? Not much, right? So I made, let me go through. I'll show you guys too, because not black box, hold on. Well, I can just change this one, hang on. Discord. So this is the Discord in our private academy. Why is this not coming up? Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is the Discord in my private academy. If you become part of it, you can see it like this. But you can see here, so on one of my positions on Facebook, I traded, okay, so these are SPCE options. So I made 61% today on these. I only put up 400 bucks or 600 bucks to make 300 in a day. So there's volatility within options. You can also blow your account up, so be careful. This one, I closed also on SPCE today. I made $684. I only put $1,100 into that position. I sold my Facebook play. That was 20%. So I did put more money in this. This was like a $1,500 play, but this was a lot less risky because I went to 115 2021. The point is, if you want volatility, just trade options. You could turn $500 into $1,000 with options. It's risky, but to me, it's a lot less risky than trading a penny stock. Because the chances of you making a prediction on where a bigger cap company is going to go, especially using options flow and dark pools, is a lot better than figuring out where some penny stock is going to go, you know? But, you know, to each their own. If that's something you enjoy, don't listen to me just because I'm saying to do that. You know what I mean? But overall, you know, it took me a long time to get to that point with options to do it consistently. But yeah, so, you know, options I think are phenomenal. Just start small. Check out GME. It made a crazy jump from last week. Yeah, so GameStop, oh man. So this is really crazy. If you would have asked me 2 years ago what I think GameStop would be around in 5 years, I would have said you were crazy. Because GameStop is a dying business. If you look at GameStop before this Microsoft news, they were really, really, really struggling. The way that GameStop makes money, you take your Xbox and your controller that you bought for $300, you go into GameStop and you trade it in for $100, then they go and sell it. You trade in an old video game, they go and sell it. It's kind of like car dealerships. They don't make their money on selling new products. They make their money by selling old products, buying them cheap, and then reselling it. The thing is, with all games being digital now, they don't have as much old content for them to sell. So overall, they were a dying company. Then they came out, they started to make a little bit of a comeback, and then Microsoft came out and said that they were doing a deal with GameStop where essentially in every single GameStop, they were going to be putting a Microsoft section where if you wanted to buy Microsoft products, or you wanted to buy or needed help with Microsoft Outlook, Microsoft Word, or any Microsoft product, you could do it there. Kind of how Amazon did that deal with Kohl's, where if you have to return something to Amazon, you can just walk into a Kohl's. So overall, really good for GameStop. Do I believe in GameStop long term now? No, I wouldn't be buying GameStop right here. If it pulled back to like $8 maybe. Looking at the charts though, we are hitting the top of this resistance point. I do think GameStop will probably pull back down to $17. SNDL 500 can buy you 1,000 shares, paid off their debt. Like I said, worst case, I lose $500. It goes to 10, I make 9,500. That's really true, Rigo. And here's the thing though, if you're going to be investing in a penny stock, I don't have anything against investing, I should say, in penny stocks. I have something against trading a penny stock that you don't know anything about. You just see people hopping in. Right? If you guys are going to take any advice from somebody, make sure you know that person's legitimate. Because I see a lot of people taking advice on like Facebook and Instagram, and they have no reason to be taking that advice. But, you know, Rigo, if you know a lot about SNDL, you believe in SNDL, or a lot of people who are into MMEDF, dude, take the position, invest in it. I don't know anything about them. So, you know, do it up. But, yeah. Oh man, MasterCard really crapped the bed at the end of the day. This is a position I have right now. See if it bounces. Hey guys, you have any questions? Anything you want to go over? They sell all Pokemon cards and stocks. That's how they're not dead. But yeah guys, I mean, if you don't have anything else, I'll hop off. But thank you guys for watching. If you want to be a part of my academy, I'll put the link down below. Start for $10 your first month. I live stream like this with them every single morning. Go over what we're trading, why I'm trading it. Go over Hertz. I can go over Hertz actually. It's a great group to be a part of. You access all my trades too. And just thanks. Like, dude, just thanks for subscribing and being here and taking, for some of you guys, 2 hours out of your day to like just chill and hang out and you know, shoot the old crap. It really means a lot. What's your thought on ARK ETFs? Since the price level is really high, recommend to invest over 6 months. We can go over Hertz real quick and then we can do that. Hertz is one of those things, like I wouldn't be investing in Hertz. I think rental cars in general are just dead. Oh, wait, is it delisted? Okay, never mind. It's completely over with. I haven't looked into Hertz in a while. Yeah, Hertz is a dying business. I mean, rental cars in general are dead, in my opinion. I think in general, people are just not going to be doing rental cars and Ubering more. What's your thoughts on ARK ETFs? Since price level is really high, recommend to invest over 6 months. Well, there's ARKK and ARKQ. I've done a deep dive on ARKQ on my main channel. And ARKK, here's the thing. What they do really good at, but it's for me, if you're looking at the next 5 years to 10 years, I think you're fine. If you're looking at the next 6 months to a year, I think it needs a sizable pullback. I really do. I like the way they set it up. I like their investments. It is very growth oriented and it's very risky, but I think it's actually a great ETF for a younger person. If you are above 50, I would not invest in ARKK or ARKQ, or I'd invest a small amount of your money in it because of how risky it is. The older you get, the more you have to think about conservation of capital as opposed to appreciation of capital. So if you're young, I don't think ARKK and ARKQ is bad if you're going to hold it long term. But personally for me, I would, if I'm not holding it for the next 10 years, I would say I need it back down at 100. Got 25 years till retirement. Dude, you're good, Pascal. You got it. Anytime I'm behind on stuff, I just blame you. I'm all important stock meeting. No time to do the dishes. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to go to Costco. I got to go get some stuff for Christmas Eve dinner. Enjoy yourselves. Thank you guys. I might post some stock market videos tomorrow, even though it's Christmas Eve. I gotta kind of see. And thanks, guys. Thank you for everything. Really means a lot to me. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your holiday. Peace.